What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Tapped In 209. It's just going to be the two of us, me and Alvin. Alvin, how are you doing tonight?
Doing good, Drew. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Sorry for the missed upload last week. Just had trouble getting everything lined up timing wise, and everything like that. But we should be good to go for the rest of the year. We only got a couple weeks left, which is kind of crazy that year one, season one is right there. Um, so kind of ridiculous. So it's baseball as you guys know it. It's pretty much going to be our normal schedule with a very special interview with Peyton Heath um, at the end of the episode, as always. So without further ado, let's get started. T-Cal will start us off. Tracy goes 0-3 within the last 2 weeks as they move to 5-12. They get swept by Lodi and then had an off week. They will take on Lincoln this upcoming week. And then over to Lodi as they have a nice 6-0 2 week strand as they are 13-4 overall now, which is kind of where I thought they would be at this point. Anyways, they've just, they get their guys back, like Dalton Waits over at short and everything like that. So they take down Liberty Ranch, Christian Brothers, Consumnes Oaks. That was in their I believe it was the Christian Brothers tournament that they did. And then they obviously had that sweep over Tracy and T-Cal. They will take on St. Mary's. This is pretty much going to be their essential championship week for them.
Yep.
Because I believe they sit in second right now. So it means a lot this week.
I think they're tied with Tokay. I'm sorry, it's with Lincoln.
Lincoln. Yeah.
Yeah.
So West had a rough stretch, winless as they go 0-3 and are now 2-15. They lose to Mountain House and actually a close one, 6-5. And then they only played Lincoln twice last week. And they will finish up that Lincoln series, I believe, next week, as they lost both of those games, as they will take on Kimball. Lincoln is 2-3 was 2-3 in the last 2 weeks, as they are now 9-8. Of course, those two West games they win, but they lose to Calabasas, Agora, and Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago, which are just three bad losses. I know that Agora loss was, I believe, a one-run game, but you got to win at least one of them. So they will take on Tracy. And then Kimball went 0-3, and they are now 4-12 as they were absolutely dominated by St. Mary's. I believe St. Mary's won the first game 25-0. And then they will take on West. Over to St. Mary's, which will take up a big chunk of this section for T-Cal, as they went 7-0, which is, I think St. Mary's is finally clicking. I said it before the Boras Classic happened that this is the turning point in the season for them. This is where we see who they really are. And sure enough, they go back to back in the Boras Classic, as they start the weekend with Bakersfield Christian, who they did take down in football as well to win the D2 championship, which was kind of insane. State championship, yes.
Yeah.
Then they take down St. Francis, West Park, who I believe was kind of the front runner going into the Boras Classic, besides Sarah. And then they take down Granite Bay in the championship in the 9th inning. That game was absolutely insane. I was watching it all the way to the top of the 7th, where the Rams gave up like 4 runs. They were down 4 going into the bottom of the 7th. They tie it. Both teams score in the 8th. And what feels like a Jason Lindholm special now is the sacrifice or the suicide squeeze. Gets it done for the second time in his career, which is just insane. He did it when I was there back in 2024 in his first year to take down Valley Christian in the playoffs. They do it now to win the Boras Classic. Just ridiculous.
I texted him after the game and I said, dude, you better hope nobody watches tape on you, because if the bases are loaded, they know that a suicide or
100%
is coming.
Yeah,
He started laughing.
it's gonna happen.
He's
Yeah.
he's like, you're not lying.
No, yeah. So what really got the Rams through the Boras Classic this year was pitching. Pitching was the biggest thing. They go through, I believe, 2 pitchers in 2 games.
Yeah.
Dax Hardcastle against St. Francis goes 7 innings and 15 Ks. Gianni Camacho
Ridiculous.
against West Park goes 5 innings, 10 strikeouts, and that was eventually going to be a perfect game. He doesn't get credited with the perfect game because it only went 5 innings. But dude, 2 strikeouts an inning for both of those guys is Oh my, it is ridiculous. Just pure domination. And then the Rams let it all go in the championship game with Jeremy Krause on the mound. I know Max Azevedo pitched in that game as well to end the game. Just overall, a full team effort there. Obviously, the bats were hot to take down West Park 12
Yeah,
0.
and
So, yeah.
and I think offensive MVP was junior David Haggerty,
Yep. Huge step
who
up from last year, from what I
oh yeah,
remember. Last year, I believe he hit right around the 200 mark, and he's just been hot. Another guy we want to shout out is Ethan Silva, absolutely
yep,
just dominating right now, just mashing the baseball. So he's been a huge transfer for St. Mary's, and like what's really been keeping them afloat for the majority of the year. So again, this is what we needed to see coming out of the Boras Classic for St. Mary's to really prove that they're the
hmm
best team in NorCal, and everything like that. And of course, to wrap around last week, they took on Kimball and swept them. Um, Last but not least, for St. Mary's, they will go play the number two team in the nation, number one team in California, Orange Lutheran, who won the South Boras Classic in a really, really good one as well. They will take them on this Saturday, the 18th. I believe I don't know where it's at. Do you know where it's at?
I think it's a Santa Clara University.
Okay.
Yep, yep,
So if anybody, can make the trip down or watch it somewhere, I'm sure SM Rams TV will probably be there or doing some sort of
yep.
coverage. So tune into that. They will go ahead and take on Lodi as we discussed earlier. Alvin takes the way with the SJ2A.
All right, we are going to start off with the Red Hot Vikings from Edison. I know Edison and baseball don't really go hand in hand, but this cannot go unnoticed right now. Edison is 6-0. They are 17-2. Wins this week against Ben Holt, Chavez, beat Chavez twice, beat Golden Valley, Grigori, and Tokay. Upcoming this week, they'll play Bear Creek twice and Atwater. I I was looking at Max Preps this morning and I was like, really? 17-2? And I'm like, good for them. I mean,
It's
it's a
ridiculous.
transition
Like
happening,
a
right
huge
now
switch.
in
Yeah,
the
huge switch
SJ2A.
from
So
yeah, huge switch
yeah.
from last year. We went into the year thinking Tokay and Bear Creek were going to be on top. Like that, those are the two
Yeah.
guys that we thought, and they
Nope.
haven't shown anything because of Edison. Edison has been
Yeah.
dominant all year.
And I mean, as old as I am, I don't think I've ever heard Edison and baseball in the same sentence. So kudos to the Vikings, and I think it's Coach Biederman who's over there, running that program. So good job to Edison. Next up, we have Western Ranch, who was 3-1 this week. They are 8-12 overall. They've got wins over McNair, Chavez, beat McNair twice. They lost to Escalon 9-8. Upcoming this week, they'll play Franklin, 2 game set, and Chavez. Bear Creek this week, they were 1-1-2. Overall, they are 9-9-2. Wins over Franklin, lost to Stag, ties both to Stag and Franklin.
Yeah,
So,
it's kind of funny when I was going through and looking at it. I don't think I've ever seen two ties, especially
no,
so close together I think back-to-back weeks. I
right.
believe the Stag game went into extras. I'm assuming they ran out of daylight, which is why they had to call it. But
And it's
just
probably
kind
the second game of the
yeah,
set, right? So
exactly.
they then
Yeah.
come back for another one.
Really,
So,
really funny if I'm gonna be honest, because you don't really see
yes.
a lot of ties in baseball.
Nope.
So
There's no crying and there's no ties in baseball, right?
yeah.
So, okay. Stag is 2-0-1 this week. They are surprisingly 13-6-1. So, we're not going to leave Stag out of the conversation
Mm-mm.
either. Wins over Edison and Western Ranch twice. They tied Bear Creek, and this week they play a 2 game series against Tokay. Speaking of Tokay is 2-2. They are 10-12 overall. Wins over Franklin, 2 wins over Franklin. They lost to Edison and Central Valley. Upcoming this week, they have Stag. Franklin was 0-4-1 this week. They are 8-11-1. Losses twice to Tokay, one to McNair, and one to Bear Creek. They had also tied to Bear Creek as I mentioned earlier. And upcoming this week, they have Western Ranch. Last but not least, we have. Oh no, we got two more. We got McNair at 1-3. They're in 4-12 overall. Wins over Franklin. Lost two times the Stag. Upcoming, they have Chavez. Chavez 2-4, 3-13 this week. Wins over Foothill and Grant. Their losses come to Kennedy, Edison twice, and Western Ranch. Upcoming this week, they got McNair and Western Ranch. And now we're gonna head over to the stacked VOL.
Yeah.
So,
First things first, kind of a surprise. Central Catholic goes 4-4 over the 2 weeks. They took down Sierra twice. They did not sweep Sierra. They go 2-1 against Sierra, and then to be fair, they had a really tough schedule against in their All Saints tournament. They took down Saint Bernard out of Playa del Rey and Bishop O'Dowd, obviously out of Oakland. Like I said, they lose to Sierra. They lose really badly to Bishop Gorman, but I can't blame them. Bishop Gorman's the #1 team in Nevada. They're really good at every single sport that they play. Obviously out of Vegas, and then they lose to Chicago Mount Carmel, obviously out of Chicago, Illinois.
oh wow,
Kind of crazy. And then they lose to St. Francis as well. They will take on Oakdale. And that's going to be, again, a huge series going into
yeah,
this one. They're going to be 1-2 in the VOL. So it's going to be a bloodbath for sure this week. Can't wait to see what stats come out of this week because it's going to be
yeah.
ridiculous. So speaking of Oakdale, they go 4-2 and are now 15-6. They lose the series to Manteca. They lose 2 out of 3 games. But they also take down Buhok Colony, Escalon, and Enox. And of course, they will take down. They will play Central Catholic. I think this is a huge win for Manteca. As we move into that,
Yeah.
that was kind of their only 2 wins. In the last 2 weeks, as they go 2-3, they lose to Turlock and they lose to West Park.
Ooh.
Like I said, West Park is a really good team. Obviously, St. Mary's took them down pretty handedly in the Boras, but I think it's a show just how good that St. Mary's team is. But
Yeah.
back to Manteca, that Turlock loss, we saw Turlock take down a lot of teams at the beginning of the year. That Turlock team is no team to mess around with as well. So Manteca moves to 15-7, and they will take on Mountain House this next week. East Union goes 4-1 as they are now 17-6 as they sweep Patterson, and they split so far with Mountain House 1-1, which is not a really good loss to see. They will take on Mountain House, I believe, at the end of the year for a 1-game series,
It was
or wrap
rescheduled
up,
or
I guess.
something.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
because of all the rain, I'm assuming
Yeah.
the big
Rain
storms
out.
coming in.
Yeah.
So East Union is on an off week this next week. Mountain House went 2-1 as they are now 11-10. As of course they took down West 6-5, and then of course they split with East Union so far as they will take on Manteca, and Sierra. Like we said, the huge win to really mess things up in the VOL as they take down Central Catholic once, and then they sweep their little Downey back and forth. They sweep them 2-0. They will take on Patterson. And speaking of Patterson, they are now 16-6 after a 2-5 last 2 weeks. This Patterson team started off hot. They sat around 500 for a while. They took down Ripon and Hayward, but of course they get swept by East Union, lose to Atwater and Gregory, and they will take on Sierra. So this VOL is everywhere right now with
Yeah.
Central losing 4 games. Of course, only one of those being in the VOL. But it's still kind of crazy to see them lose those games.
Right.
It makes it a little bit easier for us when we go and look at our top 10 in a second to see who the clear #1 team is in the area.
Right.
But it's insane. The next 2 or 3 weeks ish are going to be insane.
Yep.
So without further ado, it's our top 10 time. Alvin, start us off with 10.
All right. At the number 10 spot, we got the Trojans, Lincoln Trojans at 9-8.
Yeah. And in at the 9th spot, it's Mountain House 11-10. I believe those 2 teams just flopped. They just switched in the top 10.
Yeah.
There really wasn't another team outside of the top 10 that really has the same record and the same strength of schedule and all
Right.
those things to really switch out a team. So it was more of just moving teams around.
Okay.
Going with the 8th spot.
Number 8, we got Stag, the Delta Kings, 13-6-1.
Yeah, ridiculous. Lodi after a nice 6-0, 2 weeks. I can't move them because the teams in front of them I feel are just better overall. They are
Yeah.
13-4,
Okay.
who are at the 6th spot.
Number 6, we got the Lancers from East Union, 17-6.
Yeah, I moved them down because of that loss to Mountain House.
Yeah.
And also because of this next team and the Vikings being 17-2. There's no way they couldn't move up. I
Yeah.
understand that it's a strength of schedule thing, but like it's hard to win 17 games no matter who
Yeah.
you're playing. Like, we can't. No one expected that from them
Right.
this year, so I have to give them credit where credit is due.
Right. 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 Number 4, the Mustangs, Oakdale Mustangs, 15-6.
Yeah, they are going to switch spots with Manteca in at the 3 spot simply because of the series win Manteca had over Oakdale. I know Manteca had those losses that we talked about, but it's a straight up head to head. I can't discredit a head to head matchup when you take them down
And
2-3.
and the number 2 spot, we had a little switch due to them. I think we're losing 4 games this week. I mean, they essentially went from 18-1, 18-5. Central Catholic Raiders.
Yeah,
And number 1, Drew.
pretty simple. Feel like it's pretty obvious right now. St. Mary's Rams, they are on a heater, winning their last 7 games at least. Um, Man, it's just ridiculous to see them finally
Yeah.
click. It's so nice because it makes it one, it makes it easier for us to know who the real number one team is. And when we see the St. Mary's Central Catholic game in I believe 2 weeks, maybe even the week, yeah, 2 weeks after St. Mary's plays Lodi, we will see that one at Banner Island Fields. That's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Um, yeah, I think that's it.
So, yeah, without further ado, let's take you over to the interview with East Union Lancer, the junior, Peyton Heath. You're going to see him right now. What's up, everybody? We got Peyton Heath in the building, the East Union junior. This guy has been tearing it up so far. A 3-year varsity guy. He's batting 485 so far in the year. Scored 30 runs so far, which puts him 12th in California, 32 hits. And the real kicker is 5 bombs so far on the year, putting him in 25th in California. Peyton, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you guys are right at the end of the season, and a lot is happening, and is gonna happen for your guys' seeding in the playoffs.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
so without
And
further ado, let's get started. Go ahead, Alvin.
just real quick, I mean, you guys, East Union, Oakdale, Central Catholic,
Manteca.
Manteca, just like it's just like a traffic jam up at the top, right? Like it's. I mean, we're paying attention. This is the probably one of the most talented groups of players, as a league that we've seen.
Yeah,
You
I think
know,
this is I think this is the closest as of recent that we've seen the VOL. Like
anyone, it's
I'm sure you can
anyone's.
contest as well.
Yeah, it's anyone's game. It's even.
Yeah.
It's extremely even, especially after the last 2 weeks that have gone down. Is like it's just kind of ridiculous. So
Yeah.
first things first, we want to get your thoughts on it. Like, how has it been competing in this and knowing every game means so much?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anything you do matters, I mean, every pitch matters, every out matters, anything, it all contributes to the end of the game. And, you got to win games when you need to win games. When you're losing games, you got to figure out how to still win those games. So,
Hmm.
it's competitive and it's like hard nosed baseball out there. It's competitive.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Alrighty. First things first. When did you start playing baseball?
I started playing baseball. I was really young, maybe like 4, 5, 6, whenever the earliest you can. Played all throughout like little league. It's been a big part of my life. Little league, COVID, travel ball. It all just like really helps, and it just keeps you. I mean,
Yeah,
All right.
I get it.
What got you interested in the sport?
I think my family plays a big influence. They supported me. My older brothers. I got 3 older brothers. They all played baseball, so definitely just my family. We all love baseball.
Yeah, you know what, Drew? I find that interesting. Like a lot of the time, like it was also with Bryce at Lodi, right? They had
hmm
two older brothers that played,
Yeah.
and it seems to me like the younger guy out of the group is always more driven than anyone
Yeah.
else,
I
right? It
think the
seems to be.
biggest
I mean,
thing
how were
in
your
Peyton,
brothers? Yeah, how
yeah.
were your brothers when they played?
I mean, one of my brothers, he just played through high school, and then he joined the military. And then my other brother, he's still playing. He's over at MJC right now, but he's
Okay,
rehabbing his arm. But yeah, he's playing just MJC,
yeah,
just community
Yeah, I
college.
think the biggest thing there is, I mean, Bryce, or not, sorry, not Bryce, Peyton, you can uh talk on this as well, is like the younger guys always see the higher level competition for longer, if that makes sense, and they're always competing in it. And Peyton, I'm sure that's the same for you, right?
Yeah, now for sure. Always playing up. I mean, my whole life I've played up. This is really the first year I've ever played against people my age. So it's kind of interesting to see how all those years, kind of panned out into
yeah.
this year. So
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely see it on the statistical level, like we've said. I mean, your 485 is ridiculous this long into the year. So what positions do you play and why?
uh, big utility guy. I pitch, catch, play all infield. I mean, I can
Hmm.
play the outfield, but really this year I've been pitching, catching, and then I've just been playing second base, first base, kind of just depending on, the week
Okay.
and what we really need.
Okay.
But
Where do you hit in the lineup?
I hit second.
Okay, okay,
Makes sense.
all right. Um, let's see. What is the biggest strength you feel of your team this year?
Definitely our team chemistry. I mean, everyone trusts each other. We're all friends. We're all hanging out with each other off the field, on the field. We're just like a big family. We're all brothers. Yeah, just team chemistry for sure.
Yeah, you got a lot
Nothing
of
breaks
football
us.
player.
Yeah.
You got a lot of football players on your on the baseball team, right? Jackson,
Yeah.
Kirk,
Yeah. So we all been
um,
around each other all year
and Brady.
long.
Did you play football too?
I did play football for a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
Cool. Alrighty. You personally, do you have any superstitions before a game, in the middle of the game, anything like that?
I do not, but I would say just routine based. Not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily superstitions, but very routine based. Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
okay. What's been your favorite personal moment on the field?
Um, if I can pan it down to one, I mean, there's so many, but just coming through big hits, big defensive
Mm-hmm.
plays, close situations. I mean, those always feel amazing. Always feels good to make those big plays in those big situations.
Uh-huh.
All
Um,
right.
Going back to kind of what we started the show with, losing games kind of stack onto each other. And you want to find a way to just win, especially how close everything is right now. How do you make sure the team stays confident through tough stretches like that?
Uh, just sticking to the process and knowing it's just a game. I
Okay.
mean, when you play wiffle ball, you're hitting bombs, hitting triples, having
Mm-hmm.
fun, making crazy plays. Why not just play that? Say it's all the
Okay.
same game, It's just have fun
Yeah,
with it.
for
Yeah.
sure.
All right. What does practice look like for you guys throughout the week?
It's usually a mix of defensive drills, batting practice, base running, just situational work we need to work on. Whatever happened, usually the game before we were lacking on, we usually just kind of work on that the next day, and then we just keep building. Our coach always preaches about building a snowball and just keep building that snowball all the way to the end for sure.
Hmm. Are you
Yeah.
guys practicing
Yeah.
6 days a week, 5 days a week?
Yeah, 5 days a week. Saturdays too. Saturdays are optional, but we're out there every day for sure. Yeah,
Of
always
course,
working.
of course.
Hmm.
Perfect. Let's see. What is your walk-up song this year?
We do not have walk up songs this year,
Okay,
but
so
Oh.
okay.
if I had to pick
If you
one,
were to choose one, that was going to be my next question.
Gangnam Style for sure. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
All
That is
right. All right.
fantastic. That's fantastic.
All right. Who do you feel is the funniest teammate on your team this year?
I mean, we got a lot of guys that keep good energy that are funny. As you said, we got a lot of football guys, so we've been around each other, all year. But I would say probably funniest has got to be probably Braden Kamara for sure.
Okay.
He always keeps it loose. He's a
Yeah.
funny guy.
Yeah.
Never know what he's gonna do. Never know what to expect.
Uh-huh.
Right. All right.
Besides yourself, who would you trust the most to get a clutch hit?
Going back to that funny guy. I mean, I think I have to count on him again.
Okay. He's always loose. I get
He's
it.
a jack of all trades. So I think you throw him in there, he's gonna come out with something. He's
Okay.
gonna give you a run for your money for sure.
All
Okay.
right, all right. If you could play any of the position, I know you're a utility guy. If there's one position you don't play that you always wanted to play, what would it be? That coach, you're like, hey, coach, let me go in and do this, and he's like, yeah, no. What would you want to do?
Probably throw me out there in center field,
Okay.
let me strike some
Okay.
balls down. Yeah.
All right. Um, Personally and for the team, what are some goals that you have for the rest of the year?
Just keep improving every day. Just win as much as possible, make deep playoff run. I mean, that's really it. Just keeping to our plan and just executing.
Wow.
Just keeping it simple, having fun for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All
Absolutely.
right, all right, all right. Are there any colleges that are sniffing around? Any showed any interest so
Uh,
far?
I've had some college interest for sure, but I'm just trying to keep focusing on getting better and letting things play
Absolutely.
out.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
Are
still
you
early for you guys, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Are you a big showcase guy? Are you going out to showcases during the summer and stuff like that? Or are you just kind of let the high school play and club ball play for itself?
Yeah, so this year I think I'm gonna go to some more showcases. But in
Okay.
the past, I've just kind of been trying to just play baseball, get
Hmm.
better at the game rather than try to show off my skills. But this
Okay.
year, I think I'm gonna go for the good skill
Abs
run right now.
Absolutely.
who did you
Before we
play?
hit
Who did you play?
yeah,
Oh,
that was
who did
gonna
you
be
play for?
next. Yeah.
Club ball. Sorry. Yeah.
So I played for NorCal.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, over
Okay.
there, Coach Tony,
Yeah.
Coach Rob.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
All
Sounds great.
right.
Well, it is rapid fire time. We're looking for anywhere from a word to a sentence. In this, it's kind of all personal based to you. If there's a question that you would like to expand on, feel free to do so.
Oh
But
shoot.
we're moving quick, if that makes sense.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. First things first. Favorite MLB team.
San Francisco Giants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who
Go
is
ahead.
your favorite
Keep it going.
favorite MLB player?
The freak, Tim Lincecum.
Okay, there we go. That's what I like to hear. If you could play on any field in the world, what field would you play on?
Take me to Oracle Park.
Okay, there we go. Let's see. What is your favorite baseball movie?
Sandlot. Gotta be the Sandlot.
Okay, can I hear a second one? Let's
Uh,
see.
we'll go with Field of Dreams.
Okay, all right. Favorite pregame snack or meal?
Banana.
Okay, and then if you
Banana
got
and chocolate milk.
okay,
All
and then
right, yeah.
post game. What about post game?
Definitely got to go some shrimp or like a milkshake or something.
Okay,
Mm.
just get the protein in. I get it.
Yes, sir.
Are you a day game or a under the lights guy?
Night game for sure.
For sure. Okay. Metal or wood bats?
Wood bats.
Okay. And then what bat are you swinging right now?
I'm swinging the brand new 20. I think it's 2026. The Louisville Atlas, but it's
Okay.
actually Braden's. So yeah, we've been
Okay. Sharing
we've
it a
been
little
working
bit.
with
Get
that
it?
thing for
I
sure.
get it. I get it. I think you're actually the first person to say that you would rather swing a wood bat. Is it a sound thing? Is it a feel thing? What is it?
Feel thing.
It's a feel
Nothing
thing.
beats a perfect barrel with the wood. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you
I
feel it.
agree.
It just jumps out. Come on.
I agree. I agree. What is your favorite baseball memory that you have watched?
That have watched
Hmm.
probably um it's got to be like a men's league triple play. I think I've
No
seen the
way.
men's league triple play. Yeah.
Just a
Mm.
simple what 5-4-3 or what was it?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a screamer to third that they got it around the horn for sure.
Wow, that's actually fantastic. All
Yeah.
right. What is your jersey number and why?
I picked number 19, and honestly, my freshman year going into high school, I picked number 10
Hmm.
because my favorite player is Tim Lincecum,
Of course.
55, and what's 5 plus 5? It's got to be 10. So
Okay.
I picked 10, but I got moved up to JV to play football, and the
Hmm.
only number left was 19.
Hmm.
So ever since then, I just kind of stuck with it. I think it just kind of chose me. So
Okay.
I just kind of running with 19 right now.
Alrighty. Um, favorite thing to do after a win?
After a win, gotta
Or I just say after a
milkshake.
game. Yeah,
Gotta get a milkshake.
gotta get the milkshake in. All right, makes sense. One word to describe this year's team.
Determined.
Okay. Are you a Spikes or a Molds guy?
Spikes for
And
sure.
then what cleat are you wearing?
I'm just wearing some Nikes. I don't even know what they
Okay.
are. Just some white
Simple.
Nikes.
Yeah. Dude, I'm the same way. I'm just like, I got some New
It's
Balances. Like,
just
that's
some
all I
white
got. That's all.
Nikes right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, they're
All
working.
righty.
So
Last question. What is your favorite sunflower seed flavor?
Taco Bell. But what is that
Okay.
flavor? I don't know. I don't
I
know
don't,
what it
yeah,
is.
we don't know what the flavor.
It's
Yeah, that's
named
true.
Taco Bell.
It
So
is. I get it. No, I get it. I know exactly which ones you're talking about. I know a lot of people that like those ones, so
yeah,
I can't hate on it. So, alrighty. Peyton, thanks again for joining us. Such a busy week and busy time. So thank you for taking the
Yeah.
time out of your
Thank
schedule
you.
yes,
to
sir.
sit down
Thank
with
you.
us. Good luck for the rest of the year. We can't wait to see what you guys do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Welcome back. We all hope you enjoyed the interview and the show. This is where we wrap it up for this week. Thank you all for sticking all the way through and watching. We only got a couple weeks left with you guys, so we really hope that you guys have been enjoying. Thanks so much for showing the love and everything like that. I don't know if we've actually exactly hit it yet, but we are right at the 100 subscriber mark. So thank you all so much for the whole year, making it. We do it for you guys. So without further ado, we will see you all next week. See ya.
All right. Peace.